long before Mr. Mantooth's passing. It was when you and I, Sarah, were talking, and we said, I asked you if you had a favorite show, something we could talk about, and one
Besides
of them
Star
you
Trek.
mentioned was Emergency. Yeah.
Yes.
So why don't you start us out? Why don't you share any emergency memories that you have?
Okay, so me being, born in 1982, it was already in syndication. So before I started kindergarten, is when I watched all the lineup of, Superman and all that stuff, right? And Star Trek was always my favorite show growing up as a little kid, and still is to this day. But Emergency, right? Uh, it was the last show I would get to watch before I had to go to kindergarten, right? And it was great because you know I learned about, that the paramedic program wasn't always a thing. I grew up in a time when it was already established, and I learned all about how they had to go through and establish it. And the best part of it is it takes place in LA, and so some of the locations in which they filmed, I've been to, and my mom used to go drive by them when they were filming on her way to the post office and stuff when she used to sell stamps to the celebrities because California. But yeah, so recently I was out that way and we drove by Station 51 and we just like, it was good times. My grandma was a nurse. So this show meant a lot to me because, in fact, this show influenced me enough that when I graduated high school, I entered into a firefighting program through the Conservation Corps. However, I did break my leg the day of graduation and missed my opportunity. So, but at the end of the day, I trained for it and I was going to be in. I was accepted. It was awesome, and the show really influenced my life and a lot of decisions I made growing up. I also didn't want to get in trouble for getting injured, right? Because some of these things you can prevent it. Like they taught you don't clean with gasoline. I was like, when was that a thing? So yeah, it was really good. And I even in high school wrote a letter to Randolph Mantooth as well, and never got a response back, but I did, and that was pretty cool. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Great memories, and
very,
I think a lot of folks are like you in that this show had a profound impact in that it changed our worlds, and we have a lot to thank Emergency for. Bob, anything you'd want to add about the show itself?
Well, I have a lot of nice memories about it because when I was very young, my grandfather always loved action shows and westerns, and one of his favorite shows was this. And it was sort of when I was staying over at my grandparents' house, it was a tradition that he and I would watch Emergency together. So whenever I see Emergency in reruns on like MeTV or something, I always think of him.
I think that's what the power of TV and even movies to a certain extent, but is the memories of who we were watching the shows or movies with. I certainly have those as well. Emergency wasn't one of those. I was kind of solo on Emergency. It's probably because it was on Saturday nights mostly, and my folks were out usually on Saturday nights. And you had Emergency, and then I remember also, I guess I did watch it with my sister. She wouldn't watch Emergency, but then we would flip over to Love Boat and Fantasy Island, and she would watch both of those. And
your folks let you watch those shows?
Yes. Love Boat, oddly enough, was not on the not allowed list. Fantasy Island was one of those where my mom occasionally, or even my dad would, they'd come home from whatever their evening was, and they'd sit down, and they'd be already kind of jonesing to get us to go to bed, and they'd be looking for any excuse. So if there was something they saw on the show that they didn't think was appropriate, they'd flip, make us turn the TV off. But the nice thing about Emergency was that was never the case. This was really, not only was it informative, educational, and it's super exciting, right? With great actors across the board, not just Kevin Tighe and Randolph Mantooth. They're great actors.
Oh yeah, like the one who played the engineer, right? Mike Stokes. He was an actual engineer, right? So that's cool. And I every time I got to see Randolph Mantooth in other shows like Murder, She Wrote, even an episode of Baywatch. That was fun. I love him in everything I've seen him in. I really like him. He's a good actor. He's fun.
He was. You know what? He was one of those guys you just have. There was a charisma to him, right? Not taking nothing away from Kevin Tighe, who was also a great actor, or any of the others. There just was something about Randy Mantooth that he had this appeal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd have to say he was my favorite.
Yeah, he was my favorite too. I think he was a lot of folks' favorite. I mean, I did like Dixie. Yeah. Well, I don't. That's a trivia question. I better stop there.
Bobby Troop was awesome too.
Yeah. Let me play the video that I have made on Randy celebrating his life, and then we will go immediately into some commercials, some vintage commercials from 1978, I think. And then when we come back, we'll do emergency trivia. So hold tight, folks. We got a whole lot more for you all this evening. But let's go ahead and play the Randy Mantooth tribute video if I can find it. Here we go.
I really enjoyed Emergency. Each episode moved at a really decent clip, and while some of the show's attempts at humor sometimes felt forced, the authenticity of the program was never in doubt. The series aimed to be a realistic portrayal of emergency medical services, and pioneering EMS leader James O. Page served as technical advisor. Additionally, the two main actors, Kevin Tighe and Randolph Mantooth, they were actually required to attend paramedic training so that they could more accurately reflect the highly skilled EMS officers that were DeSoto and Gage. These guys pretty much became pop culture icons during the 70s, so much so that one of my favorite bands, The Tubes, made it a point to include Mantooth in the lyrics to their classic song, What Do You Want From Life? After Emergency, Mantooth made a ton of guest star appearances on a number of TV shows, including Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island, The Fall Guy, Dallas, Murder, She Wrote, and even L.A. Law. And then in the late 80s, Randy moved to New York and began a lengthy career working on various soap operas, including Loving,
a conniving businessman.
You're the boss. Not for long.
A charming fellow.
I'd like to see you again.
A cunning husband.
I'm not finished with you, lady.
Clay Alden.
He is unfeeling and suave and handsome.
Loving it his way, weekdays.
The chemistry between the men who played Gage and DeSoto was real. In fact, Tighe served as best man at Mantooth's second marriage in 2002. The quick trip over to his official website reveals that Mantooth had become something of an unlikely icon for those who make fire service and emergency medical services their career.
Now to news on the 83rd Shenandoah Apple Blossom Festival. Today, festival organizers announced that actor and fire and rescue activist Randolph Mantooth would serve as the 2010 Firefighters Marshal.
He had been speaking at industry conferences since 1986. Randy's message was always uplifting and heartfelt, and recalled his more than 40 years of close relationships with firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs.
With the passing of Randolph Mantooth at the age of 80 on July 9th, 2026, it is worth remembering the incredible real-world legacy that he left behind through his starring role in Emergency. That classic TV show didn't just entertain audiences, it actually revolutionized emergency medicine. It's hard to believe, but when the series premiered, there were only 12 paramedic units operating in all of North America. Due to the awareness that the show brought to living rooms across the country, 46 states enacted laws over the next 3 years allowing paramedics to practice emergency medicine. And within a decade, more than half of all Americans lived within 10 minutes of a paramedic or ambulance rescue unit. We have, at least in part, Randolph Mantooth to thank for that. And for that reason alone, I certainly would like a signed autograph. Rest in peace, my friend. What a life you lived.
And now, these messages.
NBC Saturday Night at the Movies presents Peter Falk as Columbo in Make Me a Perfect Murder.
bunch of Fritos go with lunch. Munch a bunch of Fritos go with lunch.
Nothing gives your old lunch new life like Fritos brand corn chips. So munchy, so full of good corn taste. Fritos makes lunch munch better.
Oh, you have fun with the handle made by Kodak.
Have instant fun with the handle, Kodak's lowest priced instant camera. Nothing to focus, just aim, shoot, and up pops what nobody else can give you. Bright, brilliant color by Kodak. And after all, isn't color the way to choose an instant camera? Have fun with the handle. All the kids do, even kids like us.
And you have fun with the handle made by Kodak. Fun.
Sometime, somewhere, someone had to make a great tasting soft drink with vitamin C.
It had to be you.
I see.
It had to be you.
I see.
If anyone could make it so good.
Hi-C's got a new kind of soft drink. Orange, grape, and lemonade. The soft drink with a full day's supply of vitamin C in every glass and no fizz.
You know how good it is. Hi-C.
All right, we're back. You guys ready for some trivia?
I am always ready for trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are. You know that I've started rating my trivia quizzes by the number of Thrashpondos. That's what I now have like. And this one, by the way, is 3 out of 5 Thrashpondos in difficulty. So not the hardest Thrashpondo quiz, but certainly not the easiest.
I better ace it then. Better not have I.
You better do well. I don't expect you to ace it. So, folks who haven't played trivia with me or with us before, feel free, if you want, to put what you think the answer is in the chat. I personally don't look at the chat during the quiz, except for typically at the 5-question point and then at the end.
I froze. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. I typically don't look at what's going on in the chat until midway through it, and then I ask everybody to share how they're doing. We put them on the screen, and then at the end. We have 13 questions, though, so I think what I'll probably do is ask everybody how they're doing after, like, 6 questions. We'll say after 6 questions. Then we'll get final scores at the end. We are stalling now because we're going to wait for Bob to come back. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Who had 37 minutes on him freezing?
Yeah, I mean, that's if those folks that have what is it, Kalshi or one of the other prediction markets, they bet on how long Bob can go before he freezes and have to get off. He's almost back. He's almost back. In the meantime, I see Music Girl 67 with us here tonight. She's a channel member, and so great to have her hanging out with us. You made it just in time for the trivia, Ms. Elizabeth. Bob's still trying to get back online, so he made a valiant attempt, but it didn't work, so we're going to give him a second or 2 more before we get rolling. Danny Staten says Bobby Sherman was on an episode of Emergency in 1974. He played Dr. Kent Donaldson, 3 episodes. One of them was titled Fools, apparently. Let's see. Here he is, and he's back. Great.
Welcome back, Pons. We missed you.
Welcome. Yeah, you were truly missed. Let me go ahead and put the trivia on the screen. There we go. Look at that handsome mug there. Randolph Mantooth. Squad 51 trivia. I actually had 14 questions and realized that one of the questions was the answer was Squad 51, so I took that.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
it is a great question. A great question. All righty.
What's Squad 51's number? 51.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the first question is, there are some questions are easier than others. And the first one I think is pretty darn easy anyway. Let me get my timer ready here. So I'm going to go ahead and, I was going to say, Feel free to share your answers in the chat if you want to. I don't look at the chat. I kind of like to just lock my answer in my noggin, but whatever floats your boat in terms of how you want to play the game. There are no right or wrong ways. And remember, there are no good or bad scores. The most important thing is that you had fun. Now, with that said, Bob, you better do well tonight. Okay, moving on. Question number 1. In the television series Emergency, what was the full name of the character played by Randolph Mantooth? This one has a difficulty level of 1 Thrashpondo. Your choices are Michael Stoker, John Roderick Gage, Chester Kelly, or Roy William DeSoto. Again, we are looking for the full name of the character on the show that was portrayed by our dearly departed friend and actor, Randy Mantooth. Choices are Michael Stoker, John Roderick Gage, Chester Kelly, or Roy William DeSoto. Correct answer is Sarah. You get to go first. I'm not going to give her. You get a tough one, Bob.
That would be the John Robert, whatever. There you go. I can't say it right.
John Roderick Gage.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Question number 2. Beyond his career, here you go. This is one you can answer, Bob. Beyond his acting career, Randolph Mantooth served as a spokesperson for which public safety cause? Starting the timer. Your choices are water safety education, youth anti-drug programs, carbon monoxide awareness, or wildfire prevention. I can whittle this down to 2 without having already known the answer, Bob. So let's give the folks another 10 seconds. So your choices are water safety education, youth anti-drug programs, carbon monoxide awareness, or wildfire prevention. What did Randy Mantooth serve as a spokesperson for? What do you think it might be, Mr. Thrashpondo Pons?
They were all laudable ambitions, but in this case, it was wildfire prevention. D.
I love the certainty that you went with
what I had.
on that one.
What?
I know. That's what I was thinking too. I was
did the
thinking
show and everything.
I know it because you think about it. Come on.
I can't remember a carbon monoxide episode.
Wildfire prevention. And you know what? Who's to say he didn't do some things for wildfire prevention? But
the answer is C. And like I said,
the answer is C, carbon monoxide awareness. Another extremely valuable thing to be, do public safety messages on. Okay, question number 3. After Emergency, Randy Mantooth became a staple on which daytime soap opera? If you were watching the video and paying attention, you know the answer to this question. Let me start the timer. Your choices are Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns, General Hospital, and Loving. And keep in mind, Randy kind of made the circuit. I think he may have appeared on at least 2 of these shows, but what we're talking about is the one where he made the biggest impact, the one that he was on the longest. So choices are Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns, General Hospital, and Loving. Where did Randy Mantooth spend most of his time? Sarah, you want to give a guess on this one?
Well, since I sort of was listening to that, I think it said Loving, but I wasn't sure.
What was that? Siri was talking to me because she thought...
Siri, I'm Sarah. Okay. Yeah, I would say Living. Or Loving. I'm sorry, Loving is what I meant.
Yes, Loving is the correct answer. You got it. Okay, moving on. Question 4. Randy Mantooth was very proud of his Native American heritage. Another question for you, Bob. From which tribe is his mother a descendant? Your choices are the Choctaw Nation, the Navajo Nation, the Seminole tribe. They had to mix it up there. Or the Cherokee Nation. So I didn't start the timer, did I? There we go. Choctaw Nation, Navajo Nation, This is one that deserves a little bit of extra time thinking anyway. Seminole tribe or Cherokee Nation. It was Randy's mom who was the descendant, and he was very, very proud of his Native American heritage. Do you know the answer, or are you guessing and going to say it with the certainty that you did on the last one?
Well, there's a bell ringing in my head, so either my mind is just jumping to the wrong conclusion, or I know this from somewhere, but I'm actually going to go with D, Cherokee.
Okay. I should have said ahead of time, this has a difficulty of 5 Thrashpondos. Correct answer is Seminole tribe. So I was going to go, I would have gone, if I hadn't looked it up, I would have gone Cherokee Nation as well. It just felt right.
It did, but
there you go.
Yes.
Seminole tribe is
but Seminole was the only one that wasn't nation, so that should have been a giveaway.
Right.
When in doubt, always go for the one that looks different than the rest.
Keen eye, Bob.
Yeah, I wish I'd listened to
number
it.
5. What was the name of the hospital that Squad 51 partnered with? Your choices are Harbor General, Ocean View, Rampart General, or the UCLA Medical Center. Again, the choices are, the question is, what was the name of the hospital in the show, right? This is the hospital that was always showing up in the show. What was the name of it? Harbor General, Ocean View, Rampart General, or UCLA Medical Center? Sarah, want to give it a go?
Oh, that would be Rampart General. That's for the win.
I love the certainty, and you are correct. All right. One more question, and then we'll get scores from everybody. Question number 6. What was the name of the nurse that was kind of like, I'm sure there were tons of nurses at Rampart General, but this was the nurse, right? That was on the show a lot. And a lot of us young men had crushes on her a little bit. At least I did. Played by, I'm not going to say who she was played by, but here are your choices. Dixie McCall, Erica Stewart, Kelly Brackett, or Tabitha Stevens. That name should ring a bell right there, but maybe not from Emergency. Your choices again are Dixie McCall, Erica Stewart, Kelly Brackett, or Tabitha Stevens. Bob, this one has a difficulty of 2 Thrashpondos maybe at tops. What do you think the answer is?
Away down south in Dixie McCall.
Dixie McCall is correct, played by Julie London. I was thrifting not too long ago and stumbled across a bunch of her records and picked them up. She has a lovely voice. Was a singer before she was an actress.
Yes, she was.
Sang Crimea River. Sold 1 million copies, I want to say.
Yeah. All right, let me take this off the screen for a minute. Let me see how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it this way. And let's get scores. Sarah, I think you
only missed 1.
6, are you?
I missed one. I missed one.
Okay. I
missed 2.
5 of 6 for Sarah. Bob?
4 of 6.
4 of 6. All right, let me get to the comments here. And let's see. I think the first, look at this. Melina knew Tabitha Stevens was a child in Bewitched. Indeed, she was.
Yes.
And then she was later on an adult in her own TV show called Tabitha. Let's see. And there's a little married in real life to Bobby Troop. We're talking about Julie London there. And Emily says, we haven't got scores yet, but I got to include this one. I love Dixie because she didn't take no crap. There you go.
Oh, yeah. She's awesome.
She always reminded me of Nurse Chapel from Star Trek,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only hotter.
Emily says 5 of 6. I'm surprising myself. Kevin Scott says 0 so far. Hopefully you're having fun. R. Howard, Rebecca Howard, 5 of 6 so far. Lamont Bradford, 4 of 6. Commander Kane, 4 of 6. UFO Man 2.0. Tim, 6 of 6. Knocking it out of the park tonight. Channel member Rachel in the 208, 4 of 6. Yippee Skippy, channel member Music Girl 67 is 4 out of 6. Channel member Queen KC2 is 3 out of 6. Channel member Gina's Artisan Jewelry has missed 1 so far. That makes her 5 out of 6. Ward Arcade has lost track. Well, just hopefully you're having fun, Ward. Jeffrey Weaver's 4 of 6. Emily says the Tabitha TV show was very disappointing. Indeed, it was. And short-lived. Barry King, a.k.a. BK on the air, is 5 of 6. Barry, great to have you hanging out, playing with us tonight. Roro, 1263, J6J, 5 of 6. Let's see. I think that is it. Yeah, we're talking about Erin Murphy is the actress that is active on Facebook. She and her twin sister played Tabitha on Bewitched, and Erin is the one that's still very active, and I think her twin has kind of stayed out of the limelight. Let's see. And Tech Web Sound is 5 of 6. Anybody else want to share their score before we continue on? I'm awaiting. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at this. Music Girl 67, channel member Ms. Elizabeth says, I believe Tabitha is available here on YouTube. You know what? I haven't checked for that. And you usually know these things. So I'm going to check it out and watch an episode or two. Lisa Hartman played Tabitha, and always a delight to watch, for sure. Okay, let's move on. Let me get this back on the screen, and we will continue on to question number 7. Here we go. Who answered the last one? Who answered Dixie? Was that you, Bob? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Question 7. This is a tough one, but I'm going to still throw it at you, Sarah.
I'll catch it or not.
Yes, or not. Just answer with a great deal of certainty whether you know it or not. Okay?
Oh, I will.
What well-known actor / sweat hog first appeared as a guest on Emergency? Your choices are, so this is the first one to appear as a guest on the show. So this is tough. I would say 5 out of 5 Thrashpondos here for this question. Let me get my counter back on the screen. Your choices are Gabe Kaplan. Now, some will say he's not a sweat hog. Yes, he was. He was an original sweat hog coming back to the school, hence the title, Welcome Back, Kata. Your other choices are John Travolta, Robert Hedges, and Ron Palillo. Epstein, Horshack, and Vinnie Barbarino. So, which sweat hog showed up on Emergency first, Sarah?
Well, I'm gonna just say that it's D because I'm certain it's D. If not, I don't know, but I'm certain it is.
There were some folks in the chat that I think were certain that it was D, and those folks, they say the wisdom of crowds, right? Go with what the crowd says. And usually they're right, but in this case they're wrong. It was Vinnie Barbarino, a.k.a. John Travolta, who first showed up on Emergency.
Guess I don't remember that.
I don't remember that episode either, I got to tell you.
Zero recollections to me, because that's something I would have known. I'd be like, hey, do you remember that guy? The boy in the plastic bubble.
Question number 8, Bob. Let's see if this one's this one.
Oh, dude, I know this one. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this one probably would be easier. This one's a 3 out of 3 Thrashpondos because there's
kind of has a two-part. This has a two-part question to it, really. Though. Go on.
What TV show did paramedics Gage and DeSoto not make an appearance in? Your choices are Adam 12, Dragnet, Emergency, or Sierra. And I had to look up when I was putting this together. I did not remember Sierra at all. Do you guys remember Sierra?
No.
It's like Wilderness Rescue. It was another Jack Webb produced TV show, short-lived, didn't last as long, but it was a wilderness rescue show with a similar style to Emergency. So your choices again were this is the show. There's this expanded Jack Webb universe. Gage and DeSoto just showed up in everything. And which one of these did they not show up in? Bob, do you know the answer?
I believe that it's very clever because they're all the same universe. But
Yep.
I somehow remember seeing Mantooth on his like IBDM in Sierra. So I'm going to say Dragnet is the one show they did not both appear in.
You are correct. And that's only because I'm sure if Dragnet had still been on when Emergency was on, they probably would have been on that one as well. But Dragnet had been canceled by then.
I was going to say, if I remember my chronology, I believe Dragnet had been. Although there was because it was 7. Well, I don't want to give this away. It might be a trivia question. But
Hey, whoa, careful there, Bob. Careful. Okay, Sarah, I think this is like a tops 2 Thrashpondos question coming up on question number 9. So this one's, and if you miss it, that's cool. It's still, don't feel bad, but
I'll miss it with flair, I promise.
There you go. What network was Emergency on? See, you just have to kind of remember the details. This is these are the weird things that I can't forget. I don't know why. Your choices are ABC, CBS, NBC, or PBS. Now you can eliminate one of them right away. Don't say which one, but you can eliminate one.
Right.
So now you're down to just kind of, what do you think? Which network do you think Emergency?
I'm gonna say NBC.
On? Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet.
Sorry, that's not what I meant to say. What I said was, I think it was Blues.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. But now you can say it because time is up.
Okay, right, yeah. So I'm going with NBC, but I wasn't there for the original run, so this is a huge guess on my part.
Well, you guessed correct. It was
You guessed correctly. Good job. That wasn't the question I thought was coming at you. So now I think Bob gets a super easy peasy one next. I feel bad almost giving it to you. I'm going to give it to Sarah again. Sorry, Bob. We got it. This one's for Sarah. She wasn't around for this, so it might be a harder one for her. What was the name of the Saturday morning animated version of the show? Yes, there was. In 1974, maybe 73. One of those years.
I thought it was 76, but I could be wrong. I thought it was written by some time.
I think it was earlier, but I could be wrong too. So someone in the chat, why don't you tell us? But the choices are, Sarah, and don't answer yet because we got to get to the full 30 seconds. The show was Emergency Kids, or Emergency Now, or Emergency One. Remember, we're talking about the animated version of the show, or Emergency Plus 4. So we'll give folks another 15 seconds, and then Sarah, you can give it your best guess. Bob obviously knows the answer because he's speculating on the when it debuted. I thought it debuted the same year as Star Trek, the animated series, which was
75. That was 73?
Yeah, same year as Super Friends.
Super Friends was 73.
Yeah,
so anybody in the has anybody in the chat told us what year it was?
Yes, Rachel says it was 73.
Okay, there we go.
I was probably watching it reruns.
yeah, and these shows played for years. Sometimes the networks would leave them on the Saturday morning lineup if they were popular enough, right? So
I'm gonna do a certain guess of Emergency One.
Emergency One. Now, Sarah,
it sounds familiar.
If the question had been, what was the name of the syndicated program or the syndicated repeats of Emergency?
Right.
Yeah. They called
Kids.
it's actually Emergency Plus 4.
No way. Well, I was wrong.
Because there were 4 kids.
Because there were 4 kids. Yep.
I never saw it, never even heard of it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. I liked it, and I believe that both Ty and Mantooth provided voices for it. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
And every episode had a message.
Yes, well, they all did back then.
Yeah,
they all did. They had to have a message at the end so that we could be better people, right?
I'm glad I'm not alone, Emily. I've never heard of it.
I don't think, it's one of those shows that's I just did a video on Kids from Caper, which did come out in 76, Bob. And
I love that post.
There are shows that just kind of disappear from the human consciousness.
Be right back.
And Emergency 4 is one of those that you can't really. You can find I think you can find the intro to it on YouTube, but episodes are really hard to find just because it was 1973, right?
Well, there's a lot of stuff for 1973 that's out, so why isn't that? Who has the rights to it? Bring it back. Okay, sorry.
That's the question. Who has the rights, and why haven't they put it on Tubi or something so we can enjoy it again?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while Bob is coming back, because we had another freezing episode here, we're going to just keep moving. Well, he might be here. And he returns. Boom.
Welcome back,
all right.
Pons.
Let's go on to the next question. This one will be for, I'm going to look at this, and when I look at it, then I will determine who it's going to. So here we go. Question 11. This one is going to go to Sarah.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to, how many paramedics units were there in the United States when the show debuted? Don't answer yet. 30 seconds on the clock. Your choices are 12. So 1972. How many paramedic units were there in the United States? 12, 52, 78, or 112? Let's give folks another 15 seconds. But you mentioned this early on, Sarah. They just weren't a thing. They weren't a thing back then. And that's surprising to me. We just take for granted paramedics and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I grew up in a world where it was already a thing. When I learned, because I finally got to watch all the episodes, at a marathon, And when I found out, like, in the first episodes that I had never seen, I was like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think the answer is?
I'm going to go with 12. But I wasn't there in the 70s. But I'm going to go with 12.
You are correct. 12 is the correct number. And, of course, that number just skyrocketed as the show gained in popularity. And people really understood what the value that paramedics could offer, the citizens of this great land.
Oh, yeah. Saving lives is so awesome. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
It's a good thing.
All those early days of the trial and error to get to where it's at today, how wonderful.
Yeah. Yep. Question 12. Bob, you can do this. Well, yeah, you can do this one, Bob. It has a difficulty of 3 out of 5 Thrashpondos. What life-saving method gained tremendous notoriety because of the show? Your choices are cardiopulmonary resuscitation, also known as CPR. First aid, another choice. The Heimlich maneuver, another choice. Or the good old-fashioned tourniquet. So 15 seconds left for folks to lock their answers into the chat or in their noggins, and then Bob will have you give your best guess on what life-saving method gained tremendous notoriety because of this show, Emergency.
A, CPR.
A is correct. Well done.
Yeah,
well done.
I remember when I was a kid, I remember thinking, I can't wait till I'm old enough to learn CPR. So yeah, I went and when I went and got certified in it several different times, just because life-saving is important.
Yeah.
I remember my substantially older cousin one day decided he was going to use me as a CPR dummy. And I tried to explain to him that you really shouldn't do it on somebody when they don't actually need it. But he's like, no, it's good for you. And I'm like, no, it's not, you lunatic.
Well, I was smart and I just practiced on my Cabbage Patches because they were, the easiest ones to work on.
Yeah, they're a little more docile than a younger cousin. Was that your cousin you said, Bob?
Yeah, that was my cousin Chris, who I just saw for drinks the other day. He was, I would have been 8 and he would have been 13. And that's substantially bigger when you're 8 years old. And he was
Does he remember being a bully?
He remembers being the fun cousin who was always coming up with interesting ways of spending the afternoon, like taking my favorite toy apart with a screwdriver and that type of thing.
Boy, sounds like fun.
He's the one. He taught me how to ride a bike, but he brought me to the top of a hill and let me go. That cousin. That was the same cousin.
Final question. Sarah, this one's going to be yours.
Oh, boy. Okay.
When the show was over, what actor had a chance to become a firefighter? Was it Julie London, Kevin Tighe, Randolph Mantooth, or Bobby Fuller? When the show was over, what actor had a chance to become a firefighter and ended up being an advocate for them for his entire life? Was it, or her life, Julie London, Kevin Tighe, Randolph Mantooth, or Robert Fuller, aka Bobby Fuller? What do you think? Who do you think it might be?
I'm gonna do a really enthusiastic guess to say Randolph.
Well, we are kind of celebrating his life tonight. It only feels right to end with a Randolph Mantooth question. All right, let me go ahead and take the questions off the screen. Bring us all up.
But
go ahead.
Did you know, Dave, that Adam 12 was featured twice in Emergency?
I did. One time. Oh, go ahead. You tell. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because one time, it's like they're real people there in the hospital bringing in a suspect, and another time, John's missing the TV show of them, and he's done everything he can to find out about it. He's called everyone, and they think he's like, "I'll just catch it next time." But the episode they played is an actual real episode of Adam 12, and it's awesome. I'm like, I know what happens in that episode. I can tell you. Call me.
You know what, back then continuity wasn't that big of a deal. The fact that in one episode they're fictional characters, in another episode they're real characters, because no one was recording anything on videotape, so they just didn't care. But yeah, it's kind of a neat little trivia. I'm glad you brought that up, Sarah.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite little tidbits.
I remembered something out of the blue too, by the way. There was a very short-lived TV show which starred Randolph Mantooth called, I believe it was called Detective School. It starred he wasn't Inspector Luger. I always thought for years it was an entire Inspector Luger, but it wasn't. It was the guy playing a completely similar character. And Randolph Mantooth was the star in this the school for private investigators. And one day they had to do a stakeout over the weekend, and they're all complaining. And it was so funny because the inspector, I can't remember his real name, James, not Garner, but James Who's or whatever. He says, on a Saturday, I just assumed be at home eating Fig Newtons and watching Dragnet myself, actually. And it was so funny because Randolph Mantooth was part of the Dragnet universe. And I remember as a kid being, okay, who else would pick up on that?
Yeah. What was the name of that one, Bob?
I believe it was called Detective School, and it had an amazing cast. But it was about all these people who people go to bartending school or trade schools. They go to this school. It's a retired cop, and he teaches them how to become private investigators. And each week there was some type of comedic drama. It didn't last long, but I thought it was a great show. It would have been 12, 13, so we're showing how far back it goes.
I've got some Randy Mantooth homework to do because I don't remember that one at all. All right, let's get final scores. But before we do, my longest supporting channel member has popped into the chat. This is Johnny Collins, a member of the channel for 57 months. Says, hello, everyone. Highly recommended going to films in theaters, as do I. I highly recommend the invite to my friend Bob. It's right up your alley. You know what? Theaters are an expensive proposition. It costs a whole lot more to go to theaters than it used to. And then once you pony up for your Diet Coke, which you have to have, and some popcorn, it's pricey. And so you kind of have to pick and choose. But I totally agree with you, John. The experience is phenomenal when you do go. Can't wait to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day in the theater in a couple weeks.
The best theater experience, the movie wasn't that great, but the best theater experience I ever had was going to the Chinese band theater. That's amazing. The seats are comfortable.
Oh, I would love.
Oh, yeah. 10 out of 10. Recommend go there at least once.
You know what? That's on my bucket list of things to do.
Yeah.
Tech Web Sound, 12 of 13. Let's see. Nicely done. Commander Kane, 9 out of 13. Good job. Rebecca Howard, look at this. Rocking it tonight with 11 out of 13. Lamont Bradford as well, 11 out of 13. Emily is charmed. is also, let's see, 9 out of 13. Tim, aka UFO Man 2.0, 12 of 13 tonight. Holy cow. I would never want to be president. Trust me, it is a tough job, whether you are conservative or progressive. Not for me, but I do love hanging out on the YouTube. So I think I'll keep doing that. Ward Arcade 9 of 13. Rachel in the 208 has 2 bonus questions. We're going to just do some math and say you're probably 10 of 13. Unless you were playing, you kept going after we were just chatting. I don't know. Roro, 1263, 9 of 13. Jeff Weaver, 9 of 13. Good job. Let's see. Any more scores? Yes, I think we got that one already from Commander Kane. Queen KC2, channel member Queen KC2, 8 of 13. Esmeralda, 7 of 13. Emily is excited for Tom Holland to be back as Peter, as am I. He's just a great Peter Parker. Let's see. Yeah. Channel member Music Girl 67, who's been a channel member for 42 months, using her milestone message to say no bueno for 9 out of 13. I would argue that. I think that's a fine score tonight. Particularly, it's a 3 out of 5 overall Thrashpondo type of a trivia quiz tonight. So well done. Good job. And let's see. Kevin Scott got 0, but he learned some stuff. That's all it's about. Learn some stuff, have a little fun, right?
I like to do those things. They're 2 of my favorite things: having fun, learning. Yeah.
And Ward Arcade mentions one of my pet peeves about going to the theater. I do have to bring this up. John Collins, if you're still there hanging out, this is my big pet peeve, which is the sheer number of previews that you have to sit through, along with advertisements as well. It used to be pre-YouTube, pre-internet that you wanted to see those trailers, but now since they're all available at home, on your phone, on the computer, whatever, you don't really need to sit through them at the theater. So I typically will go about, if I can. My wife still enjoys the trailers, so we go for her. But if I'm just going with one of my sons, we'll go a little bit late so we can avoid some of those commercials. Let's see. Danny Staten says we should do one on Star Trek. Well, I'll tell you what, Danny, how about we have you back with Sarah in a couple of months and we'll do one on Star Trek.
I'm free.
If you're amenable to it, Sarah, if you're amenable.
I'm free for Star Trek. I'm always free. Yep, that's true.
Yep. Yeah, I think we talked about Star Trek and I think maybe I'd done something on Star Trek and wanted to do something a little differently. So.
Oh, yeah. No, Emergency is like my other Star Trek.
Music Girl 67, channel member Ms. Elizabeth says, I guess you're right, Dave, because if this were Bob's trivia, I'd be lucky to get one right. His trivia is tough, Mr. Pons. You got some tough trivia. All right, I think I got final scores done. One more time. Sarah, do you want to just talk about your channel a little bit? I've got links to both channels in the description section, so you can go and click on them and check them out. But Sarah, the floor is yours for 30, 60 seconds, whatever, to talk about all the amazing things you do here on YouTube.
All right. Well, I had mentioned in the beginning that I do shows on other channels with lives and stuff. So I collaborate with a lot of people. And aside from that, I create shorts that are AI nonsense Star Trek currently. I'm having a lot of fun with that. And then like Dave said, I also make AI music, which, I have to use the AI to spell the things correctly and put it in the proper song order because I don't music write. But otherwise, I write all that stuff myself. And, I'm glad that there are people out there that like it because, it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, I enjoy helping, people out. I help people get started with streaming. So if you need any advice on that, I'd be more than happy to help. So that's all I got to say. Oh, and Dave's cool, and Pons is epic too.
Indeed. Indeed. So Bob, you're frozen, but I'm going to put you up on the screen for a second anyway. While you talk and tell us about, just tell us about all the amazing things you do. What's going on in your world?
Thank you. I still have my Sunday nights. Sometimes I'm joined by my friends Danny and Sarah et al. And I love to have them whenever they're joining us. And of course, I do Tugs Chat on Sundays, again with Danny and Sarah and Tracy, who, again, we all love very much. I'm getting back in the swing of doing content, and that includes a new series of shorts, which I should have more later on this week. And of course, I'm always up for working with Dave.
Yes, Dave is cool.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much. Well, folks, let me just go full screen here for just a second to say thank you to everybody who hung out with us tonight. I know we had a lot of folks from Sarah and Bob's channels hanging out with us, and I felt the extra love tonight. It was so great to have you all here. So hopefully you had a good time. I know we took our sweet time getting to the Randy Mantooth stuff and the trivia, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed hanging out with all of you. To Emily, who's asking when the next Retropalooza is, Bob, Pat, and myself and BK, we're working hard on getting a date, hopefully in the next few weeks to do that. So thank you for that question. Thanks to all of you tonight for hanging out. It's been a blast. Every time I do this, my heart's just full. So thank you for joining us tonight. Sarah, Bob, thank you for joining. Let me go ahead and let's get my good friend Fred Rogers out here. Well, we'll start with the Cape Crusader and then go to Fred Rogers because he's got a special message. Well, they both have special messages, but Fred's is a little more special. I'll quit babbling. Have a great week, folks. Take care.
Don't be a joker. Click on that little thumbs up icon and give this video a like.
You are special.
Click on that thumbnail cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.